Hello and welcome to this BimlFlex tips and tricks here. I'm going to actually show you how to configure a connection and add an expression to a connection and then configure the parameters to actually ingest your connection settings and your connection string into that. So firstly to note, I'm using bundle 62805, which was created the 5th of April 2018. And if you're using an earlier version of BimlFlex, you may have to just adjust it a little bit there. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have just got a sample project here that does sources staging with the dimensional data warehouse on it, and I've built this out as a starting point. So let me show you the result of that. And this is the sources staging packages. Down the bottom here, you'll see that here's my connections, and you'll see there's a missing sort of FX sign at the bottom here, meaning it's not configured for connections, or it's not configured with an expression. So let me show you in BimlFlex how to set that up. So we head over here to our BimlFlex ribbon. And under the connection here, I'll go to connection expression. So what I want to do here is it comes with a bit of a sample filled in for me, but I want to actually go and configure the Biml catalog connection here. So let me right click that, and I'm just going to go and copy the Biml just so I get the connection string that I'm looking for here. So the first thing we need to do with any extension point is we need to say what extension point are we targeting, or what object are we targeting. So if we just go ahead here and type the word target, now I can just grab the name of the Biml catalog, saying that I'm targeting this connection, and I want to add an expression, a connection string to it. Let me clean this out a little bit. I'll take some of this sort of text out of this. And now all I need to do is go and actually configure the connection string. The connection string is obviously this bit here. So now I'm going to just grab the first bit here. Because I want to parameterize this with the server name, I'm going to go and grab that and just copy and paste it over the example that exists. And then I'll take the back end of this and I'll put it in the second part of it, right? There we go. And last but not least, I'm just going to go and rename the parameter to server name. Now you can have as many of these project parameters as you want, or as little as you want. So let me just remove that. So there is my connection expression. So now when I build this out, my Biml catalog will have an expression instead of just a straight connection string that I can now parameterize. However, I need to do something a little bit more. You may at this point forget to do the project parameter, which I'll show you in a second here. What will happen is if you hit the build button, you'll get an error. Now I'm actually going to build this out to show you the error that you will get. So I'll hit the build button here. Alright, so the build is completed, and as you can see here, I have this error message saying the variable project server name was not found. That is because I haven't actually add the parameter to the project. How do I go about this? Again, head up to the BimlFlex ribbon here, go to project and say project parameter. Okay, and as luck would have it, I already have a parameter here called server name. So again, I'm just going to remove this and grab that out. So the next thing again, the first thing we want to do for extension point is we want to say what are we targeting. So again, I just hit the word target. And now I can do two things with project parameters. I can either go and individually target every single project where this connection is used, which if it's the Biml catalog, it's everyone. Or what we've added in this bundle, and for any bundle going forward, is you actually have added a global parameter. So if you just give it the name @global, it will now go and say, I'm going to add this parameter to every single project that you have. Right, so now I can go and say, oh, I'm going to add this to every project. Now again, as I said, you could also be a lot more specific by adding it to these individual projects as themselves, because you may have project parameters that are specific to just this project or that project. But if you have a project parameter here that you want to add to all of your projects, you give it the target of @global. So again, I'm going to go ahead and build this out and then show you the output and show you where that is configured in the SIS package. So the build has been successful. I will now head over to Visual Studio, hit reload, which will reload the packages from the build. And as you can see here, here's my Biml catalog that has now been configured. And if I look at the expressions here, you will see that this expression has been added, exactly what we've wanted. Okay, so there's a project server name. Also, in the Solution Explorer, in the project parameters, we now have the server name project parameter being added here, which means is when we deploy this to our SIS catalog, we now can use environments to actually go and configure our different servers. So that's the easy way to just quickly go and configure your parameters or your connections and parameterize them. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next tips and tricks.